Good morning. I'm Sagarika Vikramasekara from Sri Lanka. So I have been invited to chair this session, National SIGs case study session. So I hope that is the outcome of the IGF Academy from Sri Lanka and India. So fruitful outcomes of the IGF academics. So without wasting time, I would like to invite Mr. Satish Babu, Mr. Maheeshwara Kirindigoda to do his case study presentation in regard of Sri Lanka.
Hello again. I'm Maheeshwara Kirindigoda from representing SIGs Sri Lanka as the coordinator of SIGs Sri Lanka. This is the index of this presentation. This won't be that much a bigger one. So we'll move to the next slide. Scholar of Internet Governance, the principal objective of SIGs Sri Lanka is to train professionals in the domain of Internet governance, equip them with skills to enable them to participate effectively in global Internet governance process and institutions. SIGs Sri Lanka is planned as an annual school that would be held in different parts of Sri Lanka each year. So we started this in last year after I attended APSIG and India SIG. So I had gained more experiences and knowledge on the Internet School of Internet Governance. Then we started there in Sri Lanka. Formation, actually Internet Society Sri Lanka chapter was the host for IGF Sri Lanka, decided to form a school on Internet governance. In the second local Internet governance forum, we attached SIGs Sri Lanka to the same module. So we had 3 days of IG process in Sri Lanka, 2 days of SIG, and 1 day main IGF. Organizing committee. So we'll move to the next. Stats of the SIGs Sri Lanka was 31 members, students, 19 males, 12 females. Age we had age between 19 and 41. Stakeholder presentations, students, civil organizations, civil society, media, technical and private. We had sessions on Internet history from a global perspective as well as Sri Lankan perspective. Introduction to IG, multi-stakeholder model, IG ecosystem we have discussed. E-commerce, we had a nice presentation and a very talented person from youth who came to volunteer to do the e-commerce part, who given even regarding the blockchain in those days. Still the beginning of the blockchain, but he introduced the blockchain that days. So legal background, actually we had a professor from university who came from University of Colombo. He did a good job on legal background of the internet governance. So infrastructure and standards, we got support from APNIC. We had 2 presenters from APNIC in SIG as well. On the development basket, we discussed regarding the technology, connectivity, accessibility, and digital divide, and more of the subject that people talked about those days. So the development basket done by the Harsha Vijayawardena, Sagarika Vikramasekara was presented, and political perspective was discussed, which we have discussed here that we are lacking at the moment. So we had a basket on political perspective in Sri Lanka SIG. And we had a social bucket also. We discussed regarding the humanities and what it's going to be, regarding the human rights, content, safer internet, and languages issues we discussed within local SIG. And IG core values and how to organize IG event, we discussed this as a class within R1, because we decided we need leaders to be created. So to create the leaders, we should feed them with these core values. So we had a session on this. So then after, with this SIG people, we had 21 youth. So what we did, we invite more youth to the floor, and we had a youth Internet Governance Forum within the SIG. Actually, it's not the main SIG, but we have utilized to give them the experience what Internet Governance Forum is like. So we had a few things to discuss. Yes, we can go to the next. Our agenda is like this. So move. We had a lecture panel, big lecture panel. Let's move to the next slide. Some photographs. Next slide. This is the way that we have conducted. We applied for the studentship from April, end of the April. So we decided the students apply the fellowship for another period we have given time. Fellowship finalized. Luckily we had the sponsorship from ministry. So the whole students were given free of charge. We had planned a fee for the SIG, but it was almost free for everyone to participate in the SIG. So we invite almost all. So we had on May 18th as the final session of the SIG. Yeah, this is what I said, the course fee, yes. We got 3 sponsors. One is Ministry of Telecommunication and Digital Infrastructure, and APNIC and ICANN. They supported with us with the speakers. And we got fellowship from Event TV and PO TV. 2 TV, actually the main leader of internet and internet TV in Sri Lanka. So they were sponsored us with a live channel, which show lively casted our things, even now on POV. First of all, we used the languages. We concerned about the languages because our participants are from rural areas, and there were some people who not use English or used to use English or Sinhala, the main language. So we use Siam as one of our ISOC members to translate, and there were a few others. And also we use sign language because we had a disability forum parallel to the SIG. So most of the people who participated for the SIG event. So we use a sign language interpreter. There are things being learned. Every time we have to learn something from what we do. Before, this was the first time. Even though we had a good presentation from the youth and all, we felt still we need to popularize the concept of IGs before conducting the next SIG. So we are, at the moment, we are planning. We have almost planned the 12 sessions to go into various geographical locations, meet new people, and we invite them into the next SIG with some knowledge. Selection of students needs to be more diverse because even though we have done a great job, we believe still it should be diverse. Residential program could be do a lot than this because we had not residential facilities. We ask them to come in to the lectures from their own residencies, or from they have to spend their accommodation. So still, if we are doing a residential program, we believe that we could do more. And need to improve stakeholder participation in this. If you have seen the stakeholder demography, you will see that there is a lack in some parts. So we need to improve that. Yes, we are planning for the version 2. That will be around October this year. 6 workshops of one-day workshops that we are planning to conduct before the SIG Sri Lanka. Invite wider participation. This time we trying to invite internationals also. Last time SIG, for the SIG, Shrideep was there with us for the whole 3 days. We thank him the collaboration and support and the motivation given. And main SIG aligned with IGF again as usual in Sri Lanka. Increase the number of interactive sessions. So we will increase the interactive sessions than lectures. And last time we get a certification, but this time we look into award a recognized certification which can be benefit for themselves. Okay, the last slide. these are the problems we had to discuss. The syllabus according to the audience, we have to change the syllabus according to our target audience, and bottom-up process in organizing, because that was the first time. So we need a more bottom-up process and a geographical reach, language barriers, stakeholder turnout, resource persons who has IG experience lack for the last time. So we ask people to come in from various experiences. So we manage, but this time we have to do more. And regarding the finance, yes, we have a big problem. Even though we planned a lot, finances is the main barrier which makes us in trouble every time. The next slide. The photo album. It's dark, but you can see still. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mahi, for the interesting presentation. And now I would like to invite Mr. Satish Babu to do his presentation in perspective of Indian SIGs.
Thank you very much, Sagarika. This is a brief presentation on INSIG. Next. This is what I'm going to cover. INSIG was founded in 2016, and the primary impetus for this came from moving ICANN 57 meeting to Hyderabad, because of it was scheduled originally in Puerto Rico in the US, but there was a Zika virus which forced the organizers of this meeting to move it to Hyderabad. And we, the community of ISOC chapters in the country, decided to use this opportunity. We pushed the government, and the government said, go ahead. And we organized the first INSIG in Hyderabad. So this is a community-driven initiative. I think this is important. And when we say community, we mean ISOC chapters. Currently, there are 3 chapters. Next year, there will be 4 chapters involved in organizing the meeting. And these are Trivandrum, Delhi, Kolkata, and Mumbai is joining from next year onwards. We have a plan for the next 4 years, till 2020. The plan is kind of done. This is a 2017 group. Next. Again 2017, again 2017. Organizational members are governing the INSIG. It's a roving school that goes to different parts of the country. India is pretty large, so we need to cover different regions. So it is Hyderabad, Trivandrum, Delhi, Kolkata, and Mumbai. That's the way it is going. Everybody gets fellowship. Of course, this is somewhat taxing when you look at the finance part of it. But without travel, it's going to be difficult for many of our participants to make it. It's a national regional model where we have not only people from India, but also people from outside India, South Asia, and even beyond. In all the both the two earlier meetings and for the future, we see that this is not only welcome, the international fellows, but they are a necessary part of the mix in order to make INSIG quite useful. We also have returning alumni, funding from the Government of India, and where applicable, the local government. Last year we had fund from Government of India, Government of Kerala, where this event took place. And we also have support from, in cash and in kind, from ISOC, ICANN, APNIC, and we are affiliated to APSIG from the beginning. Previous, please. Previous slide. Right. So we have day 0 events. We didn't have anything for the first 2016 edition, but 2017 we had 1 on IETF, and 2018 we have 2, a youth IGF and a special intergovernmental program. We are affiliated to APSIG. Speakers are drawn from the general IG community international as well as national experts. Course content is 60% global, 10% regional, 30% national. We'll see this little later. A number of interactive sessions, role play, panel discussions, games, simulations, lightning talks by the participants. This one is by the participants themselves. We also last year we had about 15 people from the local government, which is actually quite unusual to have local government participate in this. All sessions are on YouTube. Next. 2000 edition is scheduled for 13 to 15 October at India International Center in New Delhi. About 80 participants, same as last 2 times. 2-day 0 events, First India Youth IGF and the GFCE Internet Infrastructure Initiative. This is funded by the Dutch government. It's part of the GCCS. 2 sessions organized by INSIG alumni and fellowship applications open on 15th. Next. Gender and youth. So we had about 23-24% of women, which we think is not really good enough. And we have to work towards at least about 40%. This is something that the organizers have at the back of their minds, and we will be working on this. Youth participation is at present about 30-40%. Next. So you can see the gender and the youth in a cross section. This is last year. Next. This is 2016 at Hyderabad. Learnings and best practices. So the sessions we feel must be a mixture of different types, lectures, panels, role play, etc. The more diverse the participants, and not just the lecturers, speakers, but also the participants, which means national and international, the better dynamics and retention. We use social media heavily. We have an award, a prize for the maximum number of tweets. Socials and fun times is very important. And the organizers should also include younger people and women. Next. So I think this is a wrong version. There's one slide on, did you take it from can you just go back? Back again. Yeah, so there's a version difference here. So there was a matrix on the topics, how we decide the topics. And that is a spreadsheet with 3 axes. This is the international or global, the regional, and the national topics. And this way we had invariance, variance, and others. The invariance means the foundations of internet governance, which don't change from year to year. Things like the history and so on. The variants are things like what changes very frequently. For example, currently it's the GDPR in the context of internet governance. And the one in the middle is things that don't change very frequently. These include things like the INR transition, the internet governance ecosystem, etc. So we have a kind of a matrix from which we draw our topics. So I will stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Satish. Now it's time to question and comments.
Okay, thank you, Sagarika. Thank you, Sagarika, Satish Babu, and Mahi. So, one of the common problems that all SIGs probably face now is the financial sustainability of the initiative. Since you are also part of the All-SIG group and all, so is there any example in any of the SIGs that are present at the moment which, apart from the APASA funding, have any other resource, and the government, any other resource from where the SIG is getting funded, so for our learning purpose as well? And has any SIG ever approached the operators or the private sector to fund this? We have also tried this before and we got some funding out of them, but has anybody else tried it and has been successful?
Rather than addressing, I'm agreeing with you. The finance is the main concern that we also face. We are not sure who's going to support this time even. We should, as collaboratively, we should work on that. I believe there are funders and funding organizations in the region as well as the global. So as not as individuals, if we collaborated, I believe we still can do a lot on finance also. So we'll make it a note that we can collaborate and try to make some kind of a organization or something to fund SIGs.
Thank you, Vikas. My answer would be that for the first 2 times, India SIG got funds only from these agencies that you mentioned. This time, we have applied to a number of industry bodies, telecom people, domain name businesses, including GoDaddy and all that, because this time we have a rapid rise. Dr. Govind is organizing this year's event, and we have a rapid increase in budget because Delhi costs are very high. So we have reached out to many of these agencies. So far, it has not been very positive. Initial responses are mostly negative. But we are trying to kind of follow up with them and see what will happen. We have to get some money out of them.
Okay.
And in future, of course, the fee is something that we don't consider as a revenue source so far. So once we have stabilized, maybe we also have to look at fees as a stream,
Yes.
especially from sponsored agencies.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. This, as Mr. Satish Babu said, the industry have a different perception about this internet governance. So unless you make them align with your thing, just because asking, they will not give you the money. So you have to see that what way they are aligning with internet governance policies and issues, where they stand, what kind of industries they are running. So it's not easy task to handle. Just send them some request for support and they will give you the money. So here I will say we are also facing those kind of things, but we are hopeful that a big country and we are able to convince them about this importance of this kind of internet governance and all those kind of things.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, the presenter, for your sharing your experience regarding SIG. Very important, and glad to know that you are trying to, in India, you are trying to engage the local government also. We have just started the process of federalization in Nepal, and I think it is very important that the local government, provincial government are engaged in these issues, because now they have more power, more authority. They can go into the executive power as well as legislative power. They have got legislative power. So while framing new laws, if they are aware about the IG issues, it will be very important. And another issue is, because there is all SIG meeting, and we have heard how this is being organized in different countries. So I was thinking of regarding content. It differs from context to context. What are the local internet governance issues? But there are certain features which applies to all. The global issues applies to all. So looking at the content, and we are associated with the APSIG, so can there be a mechanism that we discuss the kind of content, and we define the basic content and the selective elective content, so that as per the context we can also pull from there, as per the local context, but at the same time we make sure that there are basic content which is covered in all SIG. That is my proposal.
Thank you very much for the question. The second part of the question we will answer we'll attempt to answer during the APSIG meeting. The first part regarding local government participation, contribution, what we found was that, of course, the local government gave us quite a bit of money this time, as much as the central government gave. I'm talking about 2017. But what is most interesting was the people who came from the local government, who were suddenly asked to attend this meeting, they had no clue what they were coming for, were very happy at the end of the meeting. They were thrilled to participate. So I think the value add is also, the other people are already exposed to this, they're kind of blasé about it. But the local government people, they're very interested, they're very happy to contribute, and they're very active after the meeting is over in continuing this. So there is actually a very good dividend that we get from making them participate. Not just the money part, but even beyond money. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. And I have a question, not like a question, but could you talk more about the stories? How did you start these initiatives in your countries? Because I want to know more about how to start.
Very quickly, because we're running out of time, but the first impetus was that I attended the European Summer School 2012. Then my friends from Pakistan kind of showed us the way, because they started in 2015, the first school. So in the region also there was this thing, and I was personally part of ICANN, so there was this push because as the INR transition happened, wherein US government pulled out and now all the governments were at par, there was a need for civil society, particularly from every government, to participate in international processes. But the problem is that there is a very steep learning curve. It is not easy for a person to participate just like that. So there has to be some easy way to kind of get them to that trajectory. So we felt the need for a school of internet governance. So after having been exposed to some of these things, we felt that we have to start one. And India was a very big country, so we felt that we had to start. And fortunately, we got a break when ICANN came to India for a meeting. And that gave us an opportunity which we utilized. So that's how it happened in our case. Maybe you want to?
In our case, actually, we started we started the Internet Governance Forum in 2016. We tried to do in 2015, but we failed. So again, we had done it on 2016. After that, I had the opportunity to participate in Indian SIG, and it made me motivated and encouraged to do local SIG in our country. Actually, I met few fellows of Indian SIG as well as from the region while I'm in the IGF. So what I did was I collaborated with them and communicated with them. I learned a lot from them, and the collaboration supported me to get the knowledge and things. Then went back to my community. I spread the word what I have gained rather than keeping it myself. So our supporters, the community supported me, especially the Internet Society Sri Lanka chapter, as I'm the secretary, so Sagarika was the president then. So our committee decided to host SIG parallel to IGF. So this was the supportive things that I had gained. Nepal, Srideep was there with me from the beginning. So I named his name because it's special for us, because we are not alone when things going on. So we need people to collaborate. So that's why this kind of forums we need. So that's why I went to Indian SIG. I gained that support. Okay, thank you.
10 seconds. We would be very happy to support SIG in your country. It's very new. Mongolia is very new, so you're welcome to help. Take our help in anything that you want.
Okay,
So
thank you
let
so
me
much.
add one more comment. Like when Mahi was saying IGF, it's the hardest part of us to convince people what is IGF. They were continuously asking what is IGF, we can't understand. So we have to demonstrate many sessions to make them understand what is IGF. So that part you should do beforehand.
Okay, thank you.
As Satish Babu has said that, we are ready to help the other SIGs in the region. And I would be glad if we come out with a South Asian SIG, overall, because the resources will be not divided and it will be confined to one place, and we can rotate that, SIGs around the region and with the resources which we are all striving for the same kind of thing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maheshwara, and thank you, Satish.
I second the proposal of Dr. Govind.
Yeah, thank you, Siam. So I thank you everybody to do the nice presentations and be with us. And in the meantime, I would like to say that if we talk about the Sri Lankan IGF 2016 and 17, I'm happy to announce that for the first time in the world, we had women IGF in Sri Lanka. So it was very successful, and we are looking forward to have another women IGF in this year as well. Thank you.